friends, it's Dasha. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to July's round of A Game of Tomes. If you guys don't know, A Game of Tomes is my monthly TBR game that I started back in April. I have a board, I have cards, I roll the dice, I move around the board, and I pick my monthly TBR. If you have never seen one of these, I will leave the playlist down below. You guys can check out the first video where I go over the rules and all the other ones since then because it's pretty fun to play and it's pretty fun to watch, not gonna lie. Before we get into July's TBR though, we have to see how I did with June's. So this plus 2 ebooks was my stack for June's Game of Tomes TBR. We had The Shining, which was for the prompt House Lannister, just to read a horror, thriller, or mystery. We then had a character card, which gave us Renly. The prompt was to read a young adult book, so for that I read An Ember in the Ashes. Then we had a location card, which was Harrenhal, which is to read an intimidating book, so I read The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. The prompt after that was House Tyrell, which is to read a nonfiction, so I chose On Killing. And finally, I had a Raven card, which was a wild card, so I picked Jade City by Fonda Lee. And I'm happy to say that I have completed all of these prompts. Last month, we actually also completed the whole board, so I was able to buy books during the month of June, and I'm not sure if people want to see a book haul because I didn't go like crazy buying books, but I definitely, treated myself a little bit and like pre-ordered a few things and ordered a few things from the UK that are still not even here. So if people are interested in a pretty reasonably sized book haul, I might post one. Let me know in the comments if that's something you guys want to see, because obviously after the month of June, since I'm not through with the board yet, I'm gonna go on another mostly book buying ban. My rules for myself was that I could not completely stop myself from buying books. I know it's not really possible because I love going to thrift stores and getting good deals, but for the most part I would try to keep it very reasonable, really only buy books if I say needed them for like a live show, because I have a ton of those, or if I like couldn't find it from the library or on Scribd and I really wanted to read it, something along those lines. But yeah, I went a little bit crazy in June. I bought more than I normally would, so if you are interested, please let me know and I can absolutely film one of those and show off all my goodies. In terms of July plans, I can't really think of any readathons I want to participate in, which is probably good. That means I can kind of chill out with my reading a little bit. I obviously have some plans for like the summer with family and friends, so it's not going to be like a crazy month per se, but I do want to have some, social life and stuff outside of reading. So it's going to be a bit chill, hopefully. But other than that, no like specific reading plans. So let's see how this goes. Let's get right into roll number 1. All right, so back in June, we landed on the space for a Raven card. That is where we are starting. And we're going straight into the first roll for July, which is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Character card, and we got, Tormund! Tormund Giantsbane seemed to me like the sort of man that would make a good friend and a bad enemy. Read a 5-star prediction. This works out great because I just published a video a month or so ago with 5-star predictions, so perfect time to read one of those. All right, so our roll number 1 got us a character card, which was Tormund Giantsbane, one of my favorite characters, honestly. And that's why for his prompt, I picked read a 5-star prediction. And so if you haven't seen, I had a video with 5-star predictions go up, and I'm going to be picking Smoke Gets in Your Eyes by Caitlin Doughty. This is a nonfiction. I think it's like part memoir, kind of also like educational. Caitlin Doughty is a mortician. She runs a channel here actually talking about her experience as a mortician. And so this book is just a lot of little life lessons that she picked up through her line of work. And I've heard just incredible things about this, and I'm really excited to read it. I like that it's nice and short. A lot of people said it made them feel all sorts of things, and I'm just really excited for it. I actually did buy a physical copy for myself because I wanted to support a local independent bookstore that just reopened once our restrictions lifted. So I was like, you know what, I'll buy a book from them, I will support them, but I will also like treat myself to something that I'm really excited for. So I can't wait to pick this one up in July. Roll number 2 for July. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We get a location card. King's Landing, read a big book. Fuck. So for roll number 2, I got a location card, and of course we got King's Landing, which is to read a big book. apparently I couldn't really catch a break. I decided for this prompt I'm gonna read Battle Royale by Kushin Tagami. This is a very kind of modern classic work of kind of dystopian science fiction. A bunch of 9th graders get sent to this remote island and it is a fight to the death. Last man standing wins. I've heard great things about this from creators I really trust, and I also just know that it's inspired a lot of spin-offs because this concept is just so classic and timeless and always so full of drama, and I'm really excited for it. Earlier this year I picked up this really cool remastered edition which has not only like the coolest cover, but it has this really cool map on the inside, and I just think it looks super cool, and I've been dying to read it, and the size has intimidated me a little bit, but I'm really excited for it, so I'm gonna try to get to this in July. Right, roll number 3 for July. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. House Stark, which is a reread, which is perfect. Roll number 3 landed us on House Stark, which is to reread a favorite, and that works out perfectly. If you saw my June TBR, I had put The Lies of Locke Lamora on there tentatively because I was kind of maybe going to use it to fulfill a prompt for a readathon. I didn't quite get to it, so I'm going to officially put it on my Game of Tomes TBR. This is an adult epic fantasy about Locke Lamora, who is the leader of a group of thieves called the Gentlemen Bastards. They are pulling off heists, they are stealing from the rich, and they're keeping it all for themselves because it's just fun. I read this at the end of last year and I absolutely fell in love. I didn't expect to like it as much as I did, and so now with the 4th book possibly coming out towards the end of this year, I really want to reread this first one. It's not that I don't remember what happened necessarily, I just kind of really want to be back in this world with these characters, and especially now that I know how much I love them. And just after I finish this, go full steam ahead with the other 2 currently published books, and hopefully be able to read the 4th one when it comes out in October like it is supposed to. It's also a bit of a chunkier boy, but at least I've read this one before, so it's not going to be as daunting of a challenge. Roll number 4. That is a 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. House Martell. Okay. So 2 rounds ago, I made the big boo-boo. I thought that House Martell was the prompt where I had to pick from the jar, but that was actually House Tully, and Martell is a free space. I had to go back and watch my announcement video for this because I literally forgot to write it down. So made a big boo-boo. House Martell is a free space. That means I can read whatever I want. Tully is the house where I have to pick from the jar. So my bad. I am a dumb bitch, but that is okay. Our next roll landed us on House Martell, and like I explained, I'm big dumb. I messed up my own game. House Martell is actually a free space, not the little jar. So as it is a free space, I'm gonna go with the one buddy read I'm pretty sure is still happening in the month of July for me, and that is A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir. So I did read An Ember in the Ashes back in June. This was actually a reread for me because I have this book and the next one after. I currently own them both, but I have not finished reading them. So I thought I'd reread An Ember in the Ashes, refresh my memory, and then continue on with the series. I am possibly buddy reading this with Nat from Nerdy Nat Reads. I will link her channel down below. She is amazing. I absolutely love her channel, and we read An Ember in the Ashes together. It was kind of like an impromptu thing because she was also reading it in June, and we both really did not like love it, but it was fun to read it together, at least I think, and it'd be fun to have someone to kind of, you know, motivate you to continue through the rest of the series. So hopefully we'll be able to continue at our pace of 1 book a month and finish up the series this year, because it'd be really nice to get a series done, because I am really bad at that. An Ember in the Ashes follows Elias and Laia. So Elias is a soldier in training at the military school in this world. He is basically supposed to become this like ruthless killer for the Empire. That's kind of very reminiscent of the Roman Empire, but he doesn't necessarily believe in what he's doing. And then Laia is a poor girl from the kind of group in here that is oppressed by the Empire. Until one day her family gets attacked and she decides to infiltrate this military academy to help save her family and bring the Empire down from the inside. It's a beloved series. It's definitely a lot darker than a lot of young adult that I've read, and I really quite enjoyed that aspect of it. And all of kind of the political intrigue and the things behind the scenes that you start to see in the first book, I'm hoping are really going to come into fruition in this one. So I'm excited to continue on with the series, even though the first one wasn't like my favorite. I think it's going to end up being really good. So yeah, House Martell is a free space. Final roll for July. 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another character card. And we got Cersei, random number generator for my horror TBR. When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, there is no middle ground. And then for our final roll, we got a character card and we got Cersei, which is another random number generator because apparently I have absolutely no choice in my own game. For some reason, all of the random number generator cards ended up near the top because I swear there aren't that many of them. Although my game would have you believe otherwise. All right, so my horror TBR has 53 books on it. 53, 13, nice and easy. We're gonna sort this as usual by title. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. Hi, it's Editing Dasha, and I'm really fucking stupid, and I forgot to put everything back in focus, so the rest of the video is kind of blurry. I am so sorry. Alright, so you guys just saw I did the random number generator and I got The Girl with All the Gifts by M.R. Carey. As far as I know, this is kind of a bit of a crossover between sci-fi and horror because if I'm not mistaken, it is like a zombie horror, but it's not your typical survival horror, it's a bit different. From what I've heard, at the beginning you follow this girl who is in this like medical facility and she's like, everyone treats me really weirdly, but I'm not sure why, and you're supposed to kind of discover as it goes along more secrets about this world. I don't know a lot of people who have talked about this. I've heard very mixed reviews from the ones who had read this, but I thought it was interesting. I'm always a sucker for zombies and I'm very curious to see how I feel about this one. So here is the final TBR for July plus The Girl with All the Gifts. Honestly, it's not too bad. I thought last month's... Shit. Honestly, it's not too bad. I thought last month's was super intimidating and I managed to get through it all, plus even start another book that wasn't on the official TBR for A Game of Tomes. So I'm not too concerned, especially because there's that really tiny one, and this is a reread, and this is young adult, and horror I can always listen to on audiobook, so I'm feeling good. I think it's gonna be a really good reading month. I'm excited for a lot of these. That was it for today though. Let me know if you have read any of these or what your reading plans for July look like, if you've got any sizzling summer recommendations for me. My social media is linked down below. You guys can always come talk to me there. And other than that, thank you so much for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye!